Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Mosley back with another lovely video today. What's good, bugs? I hope y'all chilling. Today I'm gonna just be like talking about like some of my own like analogies when it comes to like goals, like living life, pursuing things in general. You know what I mean? Like my own like kind of analogies and ways of going about that in a way. You know how I kind of tackle my goals, or at least try to. You know what I mean? Well, I kind of want to start off with how I basically be seeing like life and like getting to our goals as this large tower, right? That this large tower that contains this spiral staircase that goes up and up and up to the very top. And at the bottom of this entire tower is this dark room that's filled with a bunch of broken glass, right? And this is my tower in particular, right? With each and every shard of broken glass that's on the bottom of this tower, it offers you a reflection into who you are now. You can see yourself now in that glass, you know? But it also serves as a reminder as to how that glass broke, why that glass is there, and why it hasn't really been cleaned up, you know? And that's the bottom of the tower. It's easy to, I feel like, get lost at the bottom of that tower, looking through all the shards of glass, looking to see if the perspective of that glass, the reflection, is a little different or not, you know? And it's a lot harder to start climbing the staircase and to keep pushing yourself. But what's even harder is to take moments of rest on that staircase. You know, I feel like some of us are either fully committed to looking at those broken shards of glass or observing them or staying at that level, or we're just too committed to climbing those stairs that we overexhaust ourselves. We end up passing out and we fall all the way back down to the bottom of the staircase without even realizing it. We'll just wake up at the bottom again and be like, what? You know, like how the fuck I get here? But the interesting thing about the tower is that there is no windows until you reach the middle. You know, there's no way to look outside. There's no way to look at the clouds. There's no way to feel the breeze or the wind until you get to the middle. And to get to the middle, you have to leave behind that broken glass. You have to realize that there's nothing you can do to clean it up. There's nothing you can do to fix whatever, you know, was broken in that glass. There's nothing you can do to fully fix yourself, right? And it's just important to realize that because you will never be fully fixed, you shouldn't have the expectation or standard on yourself that you should be 100% healed from anything ever, you know what I mean? Because in reality, we don't ever really fully heal from anything. We find other ways to deal with things and cope with things the right way. And to get positivity out of loss or grief or pain, we find our ways to do that, and we find our ways to express it too. But in reality, we will never fully be the same again. That glass vase or glass cup or anything that was broken, it will never be the same again, even if you try to glue the pieces back together. And so it's important to realize that there's no broom and dustpan anywhere in that tower, and there's none anywhere, you know, anywhere else basically. And in reality, unfortunately, the bottom of that tower is the foundation of it, but there's not really much that you can do about that broken glass. It's just too much down there, you know. It's too dark. You can't see it enough, so you kind of just gotta leave it down there. And if you want to reach the top of that tower, if the goal is reaching the top of that tower, then it's not important to focus on the bottom. It's not important to focus on how I can clean or rearrange these pieces of glass, how I can see a certain reflection in this glass. You know, sometimes it's important to just let go and to leave it behind, and to realize that our future has beautiful, bountiful things that are in store for us, and that our future has nothing to do with that bottom of the tower. It has nothing to do with that glass, And if you're at the middle of the tower, or 75% up there, anything like that, you could even be 90%. You could be so close to the top and not even realize it. Because that's the thing about the tower, is that you never truly know whenever you're at the top until you are there, until you are officially there. You never really know. You don't know how long that staircase is that you have to climb. You just trust yourself and you trust your abilities that you'll know when to rest and you'll know when to keep going. You'll know when to rest and you'll know when to keep walking up them stairs, The only time that you know that you're in the middle is when you feel the breeze of the wind. And the only time you know you're in the middle is when you stop to rest and you look out the windows and you see the clouds. You see how high up you are and you admire that. But if you just go past those windows, you won't even realize that you're at the middle, and you'll keep climbing to that top. You'll keep trying and you'll get too exhausted. I think that's just a good analogy for, looking for your goals and everything. That's how I be viewing it in my head. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to put it. Whenever I think of, achieving my goals, it really is one step at a time. It's one step at a time, but we also have to know when we need to be taking care of ourselves and when it's important to invest in ourselves and our own energy so that we can complete things not only more efficiently, but in ways that we can actually appreciate our work, because we're actually healthy enough, we're happy enough to understand that we did a lot. We did a lot of work and we are where we need to be, I think that's important to realize. It's taken me a long time to really understand that analogy, and if you don't understand it at first, that's honestly okay. And if you don't understand it, period, that's also okay. I just want to help as many people as I can with that because I know it's helped me a lot, seeing it that way, seeing it from that perspective, and realizing that I don't need to be focusing on that broken glass. It's just not worth it, The crazy thing about that staircase is you have to be very careful because there will be certain parts when you're getting to the middle part, right, where there will be shards of broken glass just randomly on some of the stair steps, And the way I envision it, you don't really have shoes in wherever this tower is located. You don't really have shoes. You don't have access to them. So you have to be really careful where you step. You have to know how to step. You have to know how to be patient with yourself, and you have to know how to pay attention to your surroundings enough to realize, what you're doing. Because you can be, as driven as you want to be with this goal. You can be as forceful as you want to be. And if you keep stomping up those stairs and you're not looking around and you're not patient enough, you'll step on that broken glass and you'll fall all the way back down to the bottom, You'll fall all the way back down to that foundation of your soul, of yourself, because that's what the tower really represents. It represents reaching your highest self in a way. It represents reaching the point of your existence in which you admire yourself more than you ever thought you could because you have achieved your goals. You have achieved what you have wanted to, right? And so it's always important to just take things one step at a time. If we overthink about, how many stairs we have to climb, how many there may be, if we don't overthink about how we can climb those stairs in the first place, it could lead to disaster. It could lead to us giving up and just running back down those steps to the bottom just to find comfort again in the reflection of the glass, And honestly, that's valid and that's understandable. If you find yourself running back down there or falling back down there, just know that that's not something that you have to shame yourself for. You shouldn't feel obligated to shame yourself for falling or making mistakes in your life. making mistakes with your goals either. Because the real thing about success and finding success is that you only truly find it when you never give up. You only truly find it when you realize that with success comes failure. With success comes mistakes. And with mistakes comes pain and patience and restarting and cycles and all kinds of just very tumultuous aspects, I guess you could say, of living, of just being human. And so I think it's just important for all y'all to keep in mind that it's gonna be okay. And that no matter how many stairs you have to climb, you have to realize that it's about appreciating that journey as well. It's about appreciating those times where you took to rest and take care of yourself and not go back down to the bottom, but instead remained on one step to really sit with that step and really think there for a minute, but not think about, how far you have left to go, how much you have to climb, but think about when you'll take another rest break. Think about, how you're going to approach these next steps, how you're going to walk up these steps, how you're going to observe these steps to make sure you're not stepping on any more broken glass. The thing about this tower is that I did say that there would be broken glass, around the middle point, that below the middle point, there will be lots of stairs. There will be some broken glass. But what a lot of us fail to realize is that when we see that middle point, the journey is not over, Even though we're halfway there, even though we have achieved so much, truly we have, and we should be proud of that, we're not fully there. And what we need to realize is that we still need to be patient, even when it comes to reaching that top step. Even when it's like that 99th step, Even when it's that last step, you still need to observe. There could be glass on that last step. You never know, And then you would find yourself falling back all the way down. And you certainly don't want to do that. So you definitely have to be really careful with anywhere that you are with achieving your goals. And you have to be careful with how you're viewing those goals in the first place, Because we do kind of got to be, like, in a way, a little, like, how can I say? Like, a little delusional with our goals in a way, where we know we're going to achieve this. We know we're going to get there eventually. We know for a fact. But we also got to balance that with some realism. Realistically balance it. And the way that we do that is by realizing that it's going to take patience. Of course those goals are possible. Don't ever stop being delusional with the possibility factor of it, But just remember that we got to be realistic with how long that's going to take. We got to be realistic with how much we're going to have to put in for that to be possible. We have to be realistic with how many times we're going to need to rest and take a break. That's extremely important too. I feel like a lot of people in our society nowadays, we get wrapped up in just work, getting it done right now so that we can do this or do that, so we can relax or whatever. That's not always a possibility for some. Some people have certain internal or external things that are going on in their lives that are preventing them from doing the work that they either want to or need to do. And it's not about shaming those people to get their work done fast or to get it done a certain way. It's about, making them realize that at any pace that they want to choose to work at, they must do it in a way where they're not really forcing it. Because if you force it, then it's going to turn out mediocre, And of course that determines for what you're working for, what you're doing. Some people, are forced to work for certain things that they know and for a fact that their soul is not really aligned with. I can use the example of some people with schoolwork. Not everybody is really naturally good with the way that our education system works, the point system, everything, the way that it works. not everybody is truly aligned to understand it the way that some other people do and flow with it. You know, some people have naturally a lot more struggles with it, just how some people naturally don't have as many flaws with that kind of work, and they're able to complete it easily, you know. So I feel like it is understandable when you know, like, that work isn't really going to serve you in the first place, but it needs to really get done. And, you know, that I feel like is when it may be okay, at least a little bit, to force some of that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, not forcing it so much so that you are hurting your mental health by doing so. You know what I mean? It's important to know your limits. To sum it up, honestly, it's just important to know your limits, and it's important to realize when you need a break and when you need to just have time to express yourself and be yourself, because that is extremely important aspect of life. It's not always about work. It's not always about achieving this, achieving that, achieving this. You know, a lot of it is about that in life, but in reality, we need to take times to not only rest and relax, but to appreciate what life offers in the first place, you know? I actually really like that analogy, though, with the tower and everything, and I hope that it helps y'all. It personally helps me a lot, but don't try to force that analogy or interpret that or force an interpretation if you truly don't understand it, you know. I'm not upset if you don't understand that shit. I didn't understand it for I don't even know how long, but it always came to my mind when I thought of my goals, you know. And it's only now that I really picture it in my head and can visually and, you know, in a way, sensorily, like, feel that. And it's just interesting to me. But anyways, I hope y'all chilling today. I really do. We got the moon in Taurus today, so my advice is probably on point. I'm just stable mentally today. Because that's the kind of energy so that moon in Taurus, like, gives out, that gentle, stable energy, but also stubborn energy. So y'all, just be yourself today. Just make sure you're taking the time that when you know you need to, when you know you are exhausted, to rest, you know, because you deserve that. You truly do deserve that. And I love every single one of y'all bugs. Every single one of y'all bugs. I love y'all so much. And I genuinely hope that you're having a good ass day. And I genuinely hope that if you getting any bad thoughts, that you using this diamond sword, bro, and you shing, 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 getting them out of here. See, I know for a fact, whenever I go to college and everything, and when I start making videos in college and stuff, I am going to, I'm literally gonna, like, start making videos, like, differently, in a way. I'm gonna start making certain videos where, like, I'm singing in some videos, or I'm drawing in some videos, or I'm playing piano possibly in some videos, or I'll have videos like this where I'm giving advice, you know. So I just want y'all to look forward to that, because this content isn't stopping anytime soon. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna stop in general. I like making this content, even though I know when I need to take breaks. Shit, I took like a whole, 2-week break basically on this channel, and now I'm back to consistently making videos, and that's why I made this video today, because it's Sunday, even though I made one yesterday too. I wanted to push this out because y'all deserve the advice. If y'all get something out of these videos, that is my goal, you know. My goal is that y'all getting something out of these videos, even if it's something small, and that they just give you comfort and hopefully make you feel better about your own goals and your own life and your own way of perceiving life, you know, because we're all going to perceive life differently. Shit, I perceive life very strangely at times, you know. I mean, I call all my fans, like, bugs and stuff, and some people would find that quite strange, but I personally find it unique, and I just like being myself, so I'm not going to really care if anybody thinks I'm weird for that, because I'm just being myself in reality. But anyways, y'all, I hope y'all having a lovely rest of your day, and I appreciate every single one of y'all so much. Peacington to all of y'all.